Good morning and welcome back to the West Ham Network. Hope you are all keeping safe and well. Now, listen, we did speak about this one yesterday, but a winger that Tottenham sold just a few transfer windows ago looks set to be on the move in January once again. And reports are suggesting that oh God, I'm going to do his name. Bergwijn. There you go, from Ajax, is looking likely that he'll be heading out the door in January for Ajax. And is this going to be another West Ham raid? West Ham have already gone to Ajax and pulled in Alvarez and Kudus, and they've both been fantastic signings. Of course, we saw a double brace from Kudus, not having a great game himself, but just produces the goods in the last couple of minutes to get West Ham over the line and get the 3 points. But are West Ham going to push our way back in to the Dutch League and look at bringing in Bergwijn from Ajax? Now, Tottenham splashed out just over £26 million for Bergwijn from PSV Eindhoven in the winter window of 2020. And he was previously an attacking force in the Dutch league, but struggled to produce that same level of impact in England that saw him make 83 appearances for Spurs and scoring just 8 goals and 10 assists back in his favour. Now, Tottenham did decide to sever their ties just 2.5 years into that deal, and he signed for his home country club, Ajax, a club that he did start out at. In fact, the 31 million euros Ajax paid for Bergwijn is the most expensive acquisition in Dutch football history. The previous record was held from our very own Sebastian Haller when Ajax paid the 22.5 million euros back in 2021. And fast forward to the present day, Ajax aren't really producing the goods. Now, the situation is that it looks like they are willing to sell and are wanting to bring in more much-needed funds to go and fund new players to come into their setup. Now, the situation with Bergwijn and why West Ham potentially could be looking at bringing him in is because we're also hearing stories about Saïd Benrahma potentially being linked to a move to the Saudi League. Now, Bergwijn was also linked to the Saudi Pro League, but that move didn't transpire. But that doesn't mean it's not still going to happen for him. But Tim Steidten could be working behind the scenes to look at bringing this player in. He is still only 26. Yes, you have heard me correct. Still only 26. And so far in his career at Ajax, he has played 60 times, scoring 22 goals with 8 assists. This season, in the Dutch league, he's played 10 times, scoring 5 goals with 2 assists, scoring 1 goal in the Europa League as well, and 4 appearances, and of course, assisting 1 goal in Europa League qualifying stages. So he is a kind of all-around involved player. He plays for the Netherlands international side, 32 games in total with 8 goals. Now, what do we know about this geezer? What do we know about this geezer? He started his career with Ajax's youth setup, spending 2 years there before deciding to leave after falling out with one of the trainers. And this seems to be a bit of a common theme with Steven as well. Now, PSV knew of his talent and immediately took him in their ranks back in 2011. And Bergwijn made his professional debut for PSV's reserve outfit, Young PSV, who play in the second tier in August of 2014. And after impressing there when he was promoted to the first team, within the year, he had 112 league appearances for PSV, scored 29 times and providing 35 assists in that period. His breakthrough season came in the 2017-18 season, the last time PSV did go ahead and win the league, where he netted 8 goals with 7 assists. And that drew the interest of several clubs around the world, Europe, and of course in England, with Liverpool and Manchester United chasing after his signature. His good form continued the following campaign. He scored 14 goals and assisted 12. He had his first Netherlands call-up in October of 2018, where he was also in the Nations League's finals in June 2019. Now, where does he play? He predominantly is a winger, but he can play in the middle of a front line. And he's at his best when he is dribbling with the ball. The one thing that I do like about this player is that he has the ability to keep control of it when he's running at pace at defenders. So if you think about Benrahma and Bergwijn and what's the difference, I think maybe we could be looking at a player that could possibly offer us an end product. What am I basing that on? I'm basing that on his history really in Dutch football, not in English football, because if you look at his history in English football, it's not that great. When he's not in possession, he prefers to stay out wide and draw the play towards him. Similar, you could say, to when, I suppose you could say, when Raheem Sterling was at the height of his career and Pep Guardiola utilised him out on the wing and said, no, stay out there and pull the play out to you as well. He's got a favoured right foot. That's what he likes to do. He likes to pull back a little bit, like when you put Kudus out on the right-hand side, cuts back onto his left foot. And his versatility is maybe something that West Ham could utilise as well. It could suit our system. He might not. He's quite small, but he knows how to hold off defenders. He also enjoys shots from distance. And that's something that we know that Benrahma does, but doesn't have a huge amount of success in doing. And you can't help yourself but think that maybe this player could be the swap that David Moyes is looking to make. I don't know when it comes down to this. It's all about finances at the end of the day. If Benrahma is going to go to Saudi, West Ham are going to push to get as much money as we possibly can for him. And I think it's a good move for Saeed, if I'm being brutally honest. Shake his hand, say thank you very much. Thank you for your time in a West Ham shirt. But it is time for West Ham to move on. And we can't always necessarily judge a player because of their 2 years they've experienced in the Premier League under a bit of a kind of crazy situation with Spurs like it was. He still did bang in goals, still did get the odd assist as well. But I think that if he fits the system, if that's the player we're looking for, then it just depends on how much money Ajax are going to want to pull in for the player. Weekly wages won't be an issue. It'll be interesting to see if this one does grow arms and legs. Remember, this is only reports, coming out of the mainstream media, specifically in the Netherlands, but that doesn't mean everything will happen, of course, as well. But anyway, there's your little bit of transfer news this morning, and it's going to be coming out left, right, and centre. But keep your eye on Saeed Benrahma. Holly spoke about it yesterday. Keep your eye on about that one, and that one I think will probably grow arms and legs as well, heading to the Saudi League, because they're going to be investing big money into the Premier League. And Stephen Bergwijn potentially coming back to the Premier League with our beloved West Ham. Who knows? Another Ajax raid? Let's see. Let's see what Tim's doing. Tim's at the wheel. Come on, your hands.